Now it is your turn to write some code. In these labs you build and stress this chapter's stack operations. In C there are 3 labs. Try each one yourself before you look at the solution. Lab 1 is the direct build. Your goal is a fixed capacity array stack that never reads or writes outside its buffer. You have about 20 minutes. These are the functions to write. The init function sets the stack up empty. The push function adds a value and returns 0 if the stack is full. The pop function removes the top value and returns 0 if the stack is empty. The peek function reads the top value without removing it, and is empty and is full report the 2 edge states. Each guarded function returns 1 on success and 0 on a blocked failure. To test it, push 10, 20, 30. A peek should return 30. Pop twice and you get 30, then 20. Then fill it to capacity and check that the next push returns 0. Drain it to empty and check that the next pop returns 0. One tip on the order of the steps. In push, move the top up before you write the value. In pop, read the value before you move the top back. Getting that order right is the whole exercise. Pause here and try it before the solution. Let's look at the Lab 1 solution, starting with push. This is the push function. It takes the stack by address, plus the value we want to add. First the guard. If the stack is full, we return 0 right away, and we change nothing. Otherwise, we increase top by 1 first. Then we store the value at s-arrow data at index s-arrow top. The top advances first, and then we store into it. We return 1 to report success. Now pop. It takes the stack and a pointer named out where we will write the value we remove. Again a guard first. If the stack is empty, we return 0 and touch nothing. Otherwise, first we copy the current top value into out. We read before we change anything. Then on the next line, we decrease s-arrow top by 1, moving the top down. We read first and retreat after. And we return 1 for success. Both functions are big O of 1. Just one comparison, 1 index step and 1 memory move. The guard is the key part. Without it, push would quietly damage the memory past the array, and pop would quietly read the memory before it. The full program lives in the chapter's code folder. Lab 2 puts the stack to work. Your goal is a balanced parentheses checker. It reads a string and decides whether every bracket opens and closes in the right order. You have about 25 minutes. You write 1 function is balanced. It takes a string and returns 1 if the brackets are balanced or 0 if they are not. It handles 3 bracket pairs, round, square, and curly. Any other character is ignored. Test it on a few strings. Round a square B, curly C, all nested is balanced. Open round, open square, close square is not balanced because the order is wrong. Open round, close round is not balanced because 1 bracket is never closed, and the empty string is balanced. There are 2 ways to fail. A closing bracket arrives when nothing is open to pop, or a closing bracket arrives that does not match the last opener, and there is a 3rd check. At the very end, the stack must be empty. A leftover opener means an unclosed bracket. Try it before the solution. Let's walk through the Lab 2 solution. The function is balanced takes the string we want to check. We make a character stack S and set it up empty. We walk the string 1 character at a time until we reach the end marker, the null character. The pointer P steps through the string. If the cont character is an opening bracket, round, square, or curly, we push it onto the stack. And if that push fails because the stack ran out of room, we return 0. The closer half of the scan is on the next slide. Here is the other half. Else, if the character is a closing bracket, round, square, or curly, we have to match it. We pop the last opener off the stack. If the stack is empty here, the closer has nothing to match, so we return 0. Then we check the match. If this opener does not go with this closer, the order is wrong, so we return 0. After the whole scan, we return true only if the stack is empty. That is s.top is equal to -1. This last check is easy to forget. Without it, 3 open brackets would look balanced the moment the scan ends, even though all 3 are still waiting for their closers. And these are the results. The nested string is balanced, the out of order one is not, the unclosed one is not, and the empty string is balanced. So there are 2 ways to fail, a closer with nothing to pop, or a closer that does not match, plus the leftover opener case caught by the final empty check. The full program lives in the chapter's code folder. Lab 3 is the compare task. You build the same stack again, but this time over nodes from malloc with no capacity limit. Then you compare it with Lab 1's array version. You have about 20 minutes. These are the functions. They use a status returning style. The push function adds a node on top and returns 1 on success, or 0 if malloc fails. The pop function removes the top node and returns 1 on success, or 0 if the stack was empty. Both take top by address, so they can move the caller's top. The peek function reads the top value. The isEmpty function reports whether the stack is empty, and the free function returns every node to memory. Each function must free every node it owns. Test it with the same sequence as Lab 1. Push 10, 20, 30. Peek, pop twice, peek again, then pop until the stack is empty. Finally, pop on the empty stack and confirm it returns 0. Notice there is no is full check here. Ask yourself why not. One note on the shape of this API. Each function returns a status, 1 or 0, and takes top by address. That keeps 3 different outcomes apart. Malloc failing, the stack being empty, and a successful last pop. And here is the shortcut. lspush and lspop are chapter 4's inserted head and delete first, with head renamed to top. If chapter 4's code is still fresh, this lab is mostly a rename. Now the lab 3 solution. The push function takes top by address and the value to add. It returns 1 on success, or 0 on failure. We ask malloc for a new node, and store its address in X. If malloc fails, X is null. We return 0 and add nothing. Otherwise, we fill the node in. X arrow data gets the value, and X arrow next points at the old top, star top. Then we set star top becomes X, moving the caller's own top up to the new node. And we return 1 for success. There is no isFull check here, and no capacity, because a linked stack grows until malloc itself fails. Now the pop function. It also takes top by address, and a pointer named out, where we will write the value we remove. If the stack is empty, star top is null, so we return 0. Otherwise, we remember the node we are about to remove. Old becomes star top. We read its value out before anything is freed. We move top down to the node below. Star top becomes old arrow next. That is chapter 4's delete first rule, with head renamed top. Now that the node is detached, we free it. And we return 1 for success. Returning 1 or 0 like this keeps 3 cases apart: malloc failure, an empty stack, and a successful last pop. The full program lives in the chapter's code folder.